The riots changed my family forever. This happened a few days, and it still affects me to this day. It's hard to tell, but I'll try my best. All of this happening on a Sunday night. Me and my family were living happily in our hometown in Minnesota. We've heard about the recent riots that were going on in Minneapolis and thought it'll never reach to our peaceful town until that one night. When our family looked out our window, we saw smoke in the sky. We thought it was just a group of teens lighting cardboard and paper on fire, but then we realized it was in the downtown area where all the buildings, stores, and public areas. I forgot to mention, but my father owned a deli store. So we rushed to his store and saw if it was affected, and at first thought the rioters wouldn't go after our store and only target big supermarkets. But we were wrong. The rioters went down the street where my father's deli was and started to break into stores and grab anything they could. After the rioters finished looting the store in the area, they went after my dad's store. My father, who instead just let the rioters destroy his store that he worked so hard on, decided to defend his store. He grabbed a baseball that we had in the car and told us to stay out while he tried to stop the chaos. He went to the front of the store where all of the rioters were and started to swing his bat. He managed to hit one of them, but after that, he caught the attention of the other rioters. They all pushed my father to the ground and started to kick, punch, and throw objects at my dad. I wanted to help him, but my mother insisted me not to get involved, so I wouldn't end up like my dad. After a few minutes of them beating up my dad, the riots had enough and broke into my dad's store where they took everything they could. At this point, I had enough and decided to call the police. The police arrived at the scene and defused the situation. Some police officers in riot gear threw tear gas in my dad's store and arrested some of the rioters, while others dragged my father to a safer area, so they waited for an ambulance to come and take my father to the hospital. After a couple of minutes, the police finally managed to clear the area of rioters. We first looked inside the store to see the damages, then rushed to the hospital to see if our father was okay. We went and asked if we could see our father, but the doctors told us that we had to wait in the lobby and stay there until they can give us information. After a few hours of waiting in the lobby, the doctor comes back to us to tell us the sad truth that will soon change our lives forever. The doctor said that my father died from his injuries an hour ago and couldn't do anything about it. I broke down in tears knowing my father was one of the greatest people in life, and to see him go was devastating for me. When we got back from the hospital, we cleaned up the mess that the rioters had left up and cost us over $600,000 in damage. The next day, I woke up to my mother crying in the living room and holding a picture of my father in her hands. I comforted her and told her great things about him, and then she stopped and hugged me tight. After that, we planned our father's funeral, and that was the saddest day of our lives and would change us forever. Our store is still recovering from the damages from the incident, so is our family. I hope this video teaches people that even when loved ones pass away during unfortunate times, we already see hope in the future.